Hey everybody, in this video I'll be going over the 3-2 assignment for CS330, and in this week they have it to where you have to recreate a scene from an image they provided, and like this is one of the images. This is the part of the prompt page to where you are supposed to recreate this scene, for example. I think there's like three more images, two or three more images for that. We would say it's like use transformations like scaling, rotation, translation to make the replicated shapes look as close to the scene as possible in terms of scale, position, orientation. This is cut off. You may also change the colors to the replicated shapes or to match the replicated shapes. They don't have to look exact. Okay, so I'm not, for academic integrity purposes, I'm not going to do this exact. I'm not going to do this exact thing. I'm not going to make the scene. We're just going to go over the code. Okay. Um, so I've got the 3-2 assignment code up. This is the default, what you get. I have the scene manager, C++ file open. We're just gonna look over what's going on here. So we have implemented. This is new to me. Shout out to Battersby again for helping revamp this course because previously it was not good. So as you see, if we run this right now, they have the plane and backdrop already set up for us, right? So we got the white back and white table, as we'll call it there. So I'll close that out, and then what do we have going on here? Let me scroll down. This is the set shader color is going to be important for this because it's taking the in order the red, green, blue color value and the alpha value, which we'll look at a little more in a second. And these are float values. Okay, they should be. We'll double check that a little bit. So you're not modifying anything above this. You are modifying as the instruction, the comments, the code comments say is you're messing with this below. All right, so right here in the prepare the scene, they've loaded the plane mesh already. And if you need to know how to load the shapes, it's basically the same formula as this. And you can go over to the shapes, shapemeshes.cpp in the source files over here. And it has all the functions for your, you have header files in here that make it easier? Scene manager. Now we'll look at that later. So anyways, this shape meshes.cpp is what loads all the mesh data for everything. So I'm sorry, I got a little frog in my throat this morning. So we got your box mesh, we have your cone mesh, and this is you're gonna be doing some serious scrolling, cylinder mesh, etc., etc. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to load a random shape multiple times. All right, so torus. So we've got the torus, load torus mesh is the name of the function for this. So what we are going to do is go back to the scene manager, and then I'm just going to copy and paste this. Paste that twice. Actually, no, you only need to load it once. You only need to load it once. Sorry. Load. I'm still learning the code on the fly because they changed it up. So we're gonna load. So we're loading the torus mesh up here, and then so that's it's created the mesh that you could use multiple times for the scene, and then now we get into render scene where they've already defined the variables for the rotations on X, Y, and Z, your scale, and your position, which is important for the set transformations function as well. So basically, how this works is that for each mesh you're going to do, you're going to have your scale XYZ and you're going to scale it, right? So this plane, for example, they made it bigger. So like 111 is a exact replica from the meshes of what it originally is. So what we're stretching this out 20 on the X, we're not doing anything on the Y. Well, we're stretching it front and back on the Z. So X is the left to right with the first position. Y is the one here, which is up and down. And then the Z position, the last position here, is 10, which is front to back. Okay. He's not doing any rotations. We're not doing any rotations in this code here. It's all 000. And position is origin, which is also 000. So with all that information, we are sending those variables to the set transformations function, which is, was that above here? Yes, set transformation. So that's where that all goes in there, and that helps get the view model for your scene for the mesh. Okay. So so then after you've obviously done that, here is your shader color, and that is for this is white because 1 1 1 on the RGB scale is white. This is the alpha value, which you want is 1, because if you have a 0, it will just be black. I don't think it'll do anything. So that's the basic. This is this section here is your basic. Nope, not that, not that part. Sorry. This whole section. Oh, and this. Oops, sorry. I'm literally learning this right now because I didn't have time to prepare. But you're basically be duplicating this for each mesh you're going to be doing, and you're going to adjust. Obviously you're going to adjust the scale, and you might have to rotate or whatever. But you definitely have to adjust the position to match, and you're going to have to adjust the colors. And obviously the plain mesh here. No, what am I doing? What am I doing? Put that back. All right, so we're gonna go back there. So now what we need to do is I'm going to copy and paste this, and then I'm going to start right after this comment. Right? I'm also going to put a comment that let's say Taurus 1. Like if you want to be more involved with your, because you definitely want to be commenting your code, what's going on, like left torus shape or right torus shape or something like that. Help you keep up with what you're doing here. So I'm going to make this a true 1-to-1 scale. And when you're doing a true 1-to-1 scale, you only need to put one value in there, because if I put 1.0f, it'll apply to the x, y, and z by itself. So it's the times that you need to just do an x, or you just need to do a z, like a different anything other than 1 for something, is you want to have all three of those values in there. So maybe we'll play with it. We'll do a little, make it a little taller on the y. We'll keep it the same on the on these x and z. Rotation, I'm gonna take that rotation out of there for right now. In position, we'll do 1 up from the plane, and we'll do about -2 on the no, I'm gonna do 0 on the z, -2 on the x. So it's gonna move it over to the left 2 float points, right? And now the color. This is going to be interesting for you, because the color is, how do you figure that out? There's a website that I had found at the time when I was taking this course. It was actually a web archive, which is this, which it's you can go to this site. You can pause the video and type all this stuff in to get sample colors already there. Or the easier way to do this, in my opinion, is just open Paint or something like that, and we are going to. I'm not going to snap that. Just go to Paint and just pick colors from the color wheel here. And there's probably actually websites for easy conversions too. I've not looked into it, but this is one way to do it. Is, let's say you wanted purple, right? You go to edit colors, and you got, okay, I got 163, 73, 164. Okay, how does that help you? Well, it's on a scale to 255. So how do you figure that out to plug into the set shader color here? Is you take the red. So it's again, I don't think I actually said this in the video, but it's RGBA for this set color, the color value here. So RGBA. So we're going to start with the R was 163, and you want to divide these are the numbers you want to divide by 255. Okay, so 163 divided by 255 for the R is going to be 0.639. We'll plug that in instead for the R value, so 0.639. And we will bring back up this, and 73s for the green. So 73 divided by 255 is 286. So we'll do 0.286, and then finally 164. It's basic, honestly. It's close enough. I'm just going to use the same value for R here. I'm going to save it, and we're going to run it, and I should have a torus on my screen that's purple. Oh, So when you're doing this, you want to make sure that you change. This is the most important part with your shapes is when you're drawing the shapes. You want to actually make sure you're doing the shape you want that you loaded and not the plane. So I've changed the function call to draw torus mesh. We're going to run that. Boom, we have a skinny little torus that I should have scaled a little bit differently than what I just did. So with the torus, yeah, you want to scale it, I think, on the X. Where did I scale it? Yeah, I did. I want to do it on the X and Y. The same. I'm gonna bring it up 3, just so we can clearly see it. Because with stuff like cylinders and stuff like that, you definitely want to do both of that, both the X and Y, so it actually looks uniform. Or if you need an oval shape, you know, you can leave X the same and make Y bigger. But that's how you just do multiple shapes. So if let's say I'm doing let's say that this image had a bunch of toruses on it, which it doesn't, but for the sake of this, we'll do 2 more times. Do torus 2. And then we'll do torus 3. Right? Be all right. So this one, and I'm just gonna do the transformations. I'm gonna set this one at 0. Oh, no, I'm gonna set that one at 2 because this is the third one. I was basically just spread them out left to right. So torus. The second torus I'm gonna put basically at origin and up on the Y origin there. And I might be going a little too fast. I'm sorry for that. So basically, I've just copied and pasted the 3 toruses that I've had, and I've just repositioned them. And we could change the color. We could just make this one red. To make it red, we just set everything else 0, 0, and then I'll make the other one blue. So make the second one blue because I know those also RGB or green. I could do green. So make green. Save that. Set the shaded colors and run it, and I should have left to right 3 toruses, different colors. Boom. It's almost the Olympic logo right there. We're good. So that's how you implement shapes. You could like extrapolate from here on how to do you know, the cones, cylinders, and the backdrop, for example. So that set shader color, for example, is if you want to change the planes, you go up to where the planes are, and it might actually help you to go ahead and comment this code that this is the plane. So this wasn't rotated. So this is the main plane. So this is the table plane, right? Table plane. And obviously commenting just helps you figure out where everything's at. And this is the plane backdrop, right? Because it's rotated. So if I want to make, let's say I wanted the backdrop to be blue, for example, we just change those colors. 0, so 0 on the R, 0 on the G, 1 on the B, makes it blue, for example, for the plane mesh. So just make sure to definitely comment your code. Be very critical of that. It's clearly commented that you know what you're doing in there and what each shape is supposed to be for with each section. Because also I think like what you could do is make separate functions. That might be a little too hardcore right now to do, but as the course progresses, you can probably get better with that. So that should cover the bases of how to accomplish this week's assignment. But yeah, if you have any questions, you can always reach out to me, and good luck.